What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So SRT4, we got a lot of stuff to do. We got to get busy. Where we're going to end up at the end of the episode, I don't know, but I got the weekend ahead of me and I'm just going to go ham on it, and wherever I end up is where I end up. I don't want to take a whole lot of time on this project because I do have to get back to the Honda EK hatch build over here, and I have an exciting announcement for that. Max Speeding Rods has sponsored my autocross racing, and they have hooked me up with suspension, rods, turbo, and they're going to be hooking me up with more parts. I'm sending this thing off to wrap. I'm going to have it custom wrapped with their logo and my channel logo on this thing, and it's going to look sick. I'm waiting on side skirts to come in. Once they come in, I'll be able to install them. I'll do an episode on that. I got some PCI side skirts. They're going to look sick on that thing. And once they're installed, I have to get it over to JT Graphics, and he's going to go ahead and wrap the car for me, and he sponsored the wrap on the car as well, so he's hooking me up, and I'm excited. You know, got a little racing program going on. And also Max Speeding Rods hooked me up with some SRT4 coilovers right here. So these bad boys here, if you use my code IMPORT on the coupon code at checkout, you can get these things for $264, guys. $264. You can have yourself a set of coilovers for your SRT4. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, Max Speeding Rods ain't as good as so-and-so. You know what? $264. If you don't have suspension on your car, you spend $264, you'll be able to set your ride height, set your dampening. These things have 24-way adjustability on the dampening. So you can't beat that for $264, guys. So use coupon code IMPORT on checkout, and that will give you 15% off your total purchase. You can have like 10 items on there or whatever, 5 items, 10 items, whatever. You're going to get 15% off all the items, and you're going to get free shipping. You cannot beat that. Now, they hooked me up with suspension. They hooked me up with turbo. They hooked me up with rods, and they're going to be hooking me up with other stuff once I start getting that. And the cross member I'm going to be getting it back this weekend. And once we get done with this SRT4, we're just going to go ham on that EK hatch doing the K-swap. And we're going to get that thing set up for autocross and do them well, you know. I think I can place pretty well in the class that I'll be racing it in. And I'll be able to represent them pretty well. And, you know, by me doing that, it's going to help me, help my channel, help my racing program. So, guys, when you go to Max Speeding Rods, import in the coupon code, use it. It's definitely going to help me out. But we got to get back to this thing right here, and where I'm going to start off is with the rod bearings. So alright, so you want to make sure that you lubricate the threads and you lubricate the heads of the bolts, and also you want to verify your numbers on the bearings just to make sure that each bearing is numbered and stamped correctly. And these are stamped standard 1813H, and that correlates with the boxes. So I checked each individual one to make sure that they're all correct, and trust me, you want to do that because in the past I had a set of bearings come in, and one was an oversized and one was a standard, and that totally screwed up my build. So I verified all this is good, this is prepped, so let's go ahead and start this thing. right, so we got the rod bearings and the rod bolts installed with the assembly lube. And if you saw me do like 2 steps of torquing it down, what I like to do is preload the bolts with about 15 foot-pounds, and then from there I go to the final torque. That way I know that, you know, with it preloaded like that, that the bearings are nice and seated and they kind of adjust, because whenever you put bearings in, I try my best to, you know, make sure they're flush on both sides of the rod. And sometimes you're not sure, but whenever I do that, I preload it down, and that just kind of assures that the alignment of the bearings within the cap and the rod and everything is nice and seated. And then after that, I do the final torque, and at 15 foot-pounds, it's preloaded a little bit, but still gives me enough to give it that nice stretch, that nice final torque. And after that, I like to give it a little wiggle test. You know, they're going to move a little bit side to side like that, but up and down, nice and firm, nice and firm. So they all feel the same. There's no restriction whenever I rotate the engine, so it's good to go. I know you're supposed to do it with the plastic gauge and all that. I don't have it. I've done it many times with mini engines, and I've done it enough using plastic gauge. As long as the bearings are stamped correctly, I've never had an issue with it other than the mishap one time of having an oversized bearing packaged in with standard bearings. So it is what it is. So we got this done. Alright guys, I got the PCI side skirts in, and I'm really stoked on it, and I can't wait to install it and see how well it looks on the car. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna look sick. And after I get that done, we're gonna get this thing down to JT Graphics and get it wrapped. But Next video is going to be the install of this, because I'm on a time crunch with this car. And I also am picking up the subframe this weekend, so I have the subframe ready to go so we could put that K-swap into the car. But first we have to take the H to B swap out of it. So a lot of y'all have been asking about the Civic project is returning, so stay tuned for that. But we got to get back to the SRT4. I did get half of the seals done on the head, and here are the valve stem seals for the intake side, and we got to do the exhaust still, so I'll film some of that and show you the process. But basically I have a special tool here, and that allows me to compress the spring, take the keepers out, then I could take the spring and get to the seal, and then once I take the seal out, clean and reinstall in reverse order. So I'll show you a little bit of that in time lapse. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright guys, so we're going to be giving away 2 t-shirts on this episode. Stay tuned for that, but I did get the cross member in for the EK hatch, and Caleb did a really good job on it. It's going to look pretty in there, so I'm totally stoked, but we got to get this thing to get wrapped. So in order to get it wrapped, we got to get the PCI side skirts installed. So next episode on this channel is going to be the PCI side skirt install, and we'll get it down to the graphic shop, and I'll show you guys the place, and we'll talk to the owner and see if we can get him to take the GoPro and do some time-lapsing of him doing the wrap. And I think that would be a good treat. A good treat for you guys, you know, watching it, and the ones that have been following this Civic build that's been asking me a lot of questions on it. You know, I've been holding off on, you know, talking about it until I signed the contract with the company and everything. So I signed it, and it's a go. We are sponsored. Max Speeding Rods, EK hatch. It's going down, and I'm as interested as you guys are, but I'm gonna use a good recipe with their parts, and we're gonna put together a really good competitive autocross car. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but I think we could do well with it. So it gives this car a purpose, and I'm totally stoked for that. So SRT4 engine, man, we made great progress on this episode, guys, and I'm totally stoked. So as you saw, we got the ARP rod bolts, we got the Cleave It racing bearings, ARP head studs, and I just got, you know, it's a regular Fel-Pro head gasket, replacement head gasket, but you might have noticed I've used copper spray on my head gasket, and I like to do that just to give it the added insurance that it's going to seal, especially around the oil drain areas. So I like to use it for that purpose, and it's never did me wrong. So I kind of stand by that stuff. It's added insurance. But we got to get this transmission degreased now, and I'm going to replace the seals on that, and then repaint it, and then get this thing, you know, put onto the engine, and then from there we just got to get the engine out of the other car and vice versa, plop the new one in, and of course my OCD is going to kick in, because I know the second I pull the engine out I'm going to want to clean everything. So I'm going to have to take the time, pressure wash, degrease everything out real nice inside the car engine bay, so that once the engine's in there it looks pretty along with the engine bay. You know what I mean? You don't want like a pretty nice new engine with a shitty nasty dirty engine bay covered around it. So we're gonna do this thing right, but we're gonna do it as fast as we can. So as you can tell, I got to get this done, and then I got to get this done. So I'm hoping the time in between it getting wrapped and whatnot, that I can go hard on this and get a lot of this done. And then once I get this car back, we'll have to then maybe change off, you know, pulling the engine and everything out on one episode, and then jumping back and forth until I get them done. Basically, that's the way it's going to have to work. So anyway, stay tuned for the t-shirts. We'll cut back to my house, I'll do the drawing, and good luck, guys. Alright guys, the time has come to give away 2 more t-shirts. So I got everyone who entered, and unfortunately I'm kind of disappointed that, you know, it didn't have as many people, but it's fortunate for you guys because it gives you a great chance. Those of y'all that entered, you know, good luck. So I got 2 winners selected. I got everybody up there. Let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna roll. Kobe Peterson, congratulations, you got yourself a t-shirt. One Duck 34B, congratulations guys, y'all have won each a t-shirt. So wear it proud, and if you haven't won one yet, now's your chance to enter for the next drawing, and that's going to be #Civic. So #Civic in the comments below. That will give you a chance to enter for the next drawing, and you have to give this video a thumbs up and be a subscriber. So go ahead and get it done. All right, you 2 lucky winners, go ahead, go to Import Modify on Instagram, shoot me a message with your address, and I will get those shipped out to you with tracking numbers. Congratulations, guys. All right, so we made great progress on the SRT4, and the next video, like I said, we're gonna do the Honda side skirts, and then we're gonna get that thing down to wrap. And we'll be getting right back on the SRT4 because we're not going to waste time. We're going to get that project done. So until the next one, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Stay tuned for more content. And as always, peace out.